had a little bit of technical stuff because I think it's because we haven't done a video for what is about 3 weeks, a little bit over 3. So I guess we forgot how.
The button wasn't wanting me to record.
No, it's been a crazy week anyway, but we're getting by, so that's the only thing that makes any. That's the only thing that's important. So let's see who's here. So for Deborah from Canada is here, and Elise from Norway is here. Dara's here. Andrew is here. Well, we got a good start anyway. My hair is a mess. I'm not looking over there. I'm done. It is what it is. I've been so busy this morning getting my project done. What we're going to do today is we're going to make a really cute little bracelet that doesn't really take much time to make, but there are a lot of variations you can do with it, which makes it really cool because you can make the same type of bracelet but different all the time. But anyway, it's based on, if you can focus on this without moving the camera too much, because then it jiggles a lot on them. Okay, this little bracelet here, you see this little tube bead here, and then it's caught with crimps to the side, and then it's just beaded around and, you know, caught to the side. So anyway, I made one this morning using epoxy sculpt bead, which I made this morning also. So it's the same thing, really. It's just, you know, has a different look. And it's just beaded chain instead of, you know, regular chain instead of beaded chain. But it's very simple to do. So I'm going to give you the specs and tell you how I did it with epoxy sculpt. We're not going to make the bead today because it takes a while to get it done and we won't even be able to use it. But I'll kind of refresh you a little bit. And then when we do the epoxy sculpt class, then we'll be doing some beads and you can see more. If you want, I can link even in this video. I did do a video about doing epoxy sculpt beads. But
yeah, and then once you make a whole bunch, you'll be ready and set
so
to go.
you could go back and review it, but then we'll have it in our class too. But I thought maybe I'd kick the excitement for the class off. Now it's going to start, we have a date. It's going to start August 21st, so that's a few weeks yet. It's going to be hopefully about 4 weeks long. It's going to be in our Wednesday slot, just like we're meeting today. Only each class is going to last about an hour and a half. It's going to be very focused. We will be live. You can ask questions, but I may not answer them until getting to the end of the session, because I want to stay with the material so we get as much done as we can. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover some of the stuff that we covered in my introduction to epoxy sculpt, whatever you want to call it, mosaic class that I did that was not free about 3 years ago. So it's been long enough now that some of the projects that we did in there would be good to show you guys. And of course this class is free, you don't pay for it. There is a kit if you're interested. It has everything you need, or just about everything that you need to do the project. You get white epoxy sculpt, red and blue. You get the solvent stuff. You get a lot of trims and pieces and bead cores. You get, you know, some bead mix type stuff. You know, things like you can make a mosaic with. I should have printed the list. I'll put it on here. But the thing is I only have 5 left. Only 5 left. The rest of them are sold out. I can make 5 more. So if you want one, get at me. Jordan at bisouboutiques.com. Jordan at bisouboutiques.com. Tell Jordan you want a kit. They're $110. That includes the shipping anywhere in the United States. You also get, we're going to do some covered cuffs in it, so you get a couple of cuffs. We're also going to do some, this is really different. I've never done this before.
And they're getting the full size of the epoxy?
Yeah.
Which is like
I'll show you what it
a
looks like.
fourth of a pound.
Yeah.
Right? And you're getting 3 different colors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, my retail is probably the lowest you're going to find on the internet, and it's too low, and I am going to have to raise it because the company did. It's not a cheap product. But then on the other hand, if you remember a few years ago when we had Cerulean, I think I've talked to you about this before.
Oh, you get so much more with the epoxy.
Cerulean was made by Swarovski, and of course Swarovski is not doing things for the general public at this time. So no more Cerulean. But the thing is, I said, well, I'll talk to Epoxy Sculpt people. That's probably the same thing or close to it. And they told me that it was almost reverse engineered of their product. And there were some features of their product that were superior. I said, well, let's do it. Let's try it. That's when I brought Epoxy Sculpt in. And I couldn't agree more. For Cerulean, for $10 retail, you got like nothing.
Tiny little tube.
Nothing. You couldn't do hardly anything with it. With this, you can make like a whole bunch of beads and all kind of stuff with this.
And it comes in the sealable containers.
And they're in 2 sealable containers. Cerulean was not, just jammed it in some plastic, and that was that. It was up to you to keep it good. What I like to do, and I don't have it here to show you, but I think in the other video I do, and I will show you when we have the actual class. What I like to do is I like to get those little scales that you get, like you can get them on Amazon for like, what, $10 or something. We have a couple of them here, but I don't know, the girls might have taken them home for now. But anyway, I like to weigh it. Like, I'll weigh 1 part of the color to 1 part of the hardener. So I can make sure that they're as close as possible. That way, when I mix them together, because it's like 2-part resin, it is resin. It's resin clay. It's like when you're using 2-part resin, the liquids, yeah, I'm going to show you. This is what we use here. You can tell we use it too. This has been used. We weigh a lot of stuff on it. It's very accurate.
We use it for our bead mixes.
Yes. So, anyway, you measure out the 2, like 2 balls, make sure they weigh about the same. What I like to do is the hardener, I like to add just a hair more hardener than the color part. And then that makes it kind of get ready faster. I like to do that with 2-part liquid resin as well. So that's what you do. It's very, very simple to mix up, and I've never had a fail yet, not one. So don't worry about that. Sorry, I'm hoarse. I was hoping I might not be because it was improving. Go figure. I found out I got this hoarse voice, but after many years of not being able to, I can sing again. Like the top notes that I have not had in 3 decades, and they're there. Tell me why. I don't know. Not important. Today we're talking about this. I was just telling you, I'm sorry I'm hoarse, I can't understand, but I can't sing this to you, so we're going to have to put up with a hoarse voice. Maybe I'll just push
We'll have a
sing-along.
sing-along.
I'll push it a little bit harder to get because I never am very loud. Okay, so we have this bracelets in there too, and we have these on the website. I think there's some at Etsy, but they're clampers, like the old 50s bracelets. We're going to do something with this in the class. That's going to be way cool. You get a Teflon sheet to work on, so you don't have to worry about it sticking to your, table. You get all kind of blanks. Oh, a lot of mounts you get. You get mermaid sand. This is mermaid sand, people, in case you haven't looked at it for a long time. I started making mermaid sand when the pandemic began. And it was a hot little ticket for me for about 2 years. And what it is, it's just whatever I can find. So it can vary. This has real turquoise chips in it. It has a lot of seed beads. It has glitter.
Yeah, there's different colors.
This and that. You never know what's going to be in it. But the thing is, it's really good for embedding into stuff, as you can well imagine. That would be good to embed down into clay. Just press it down in, and then when it cures, it stays. So you're going to get a package of mermaid sand. And by the way, if you want mermaid sand, it's all marked down. It's only $2.95 a bag, and a bag goes a long way. So if you're over at our place, check it out. You might want to get some, but you will get a little bit with that kit. So anyway, long story short, you're going to get everything you need to really get going with Epoxy Sculpt and not say, oh man, I don't have this, I don't have that. Or my product, maybe you got it before and now it's old. And that does happen because I hadn't worked with it for a while when I got into mine. I had some mine to throw out. And I'm careful about how I store it, but it just only lasts so long, like we talked in the last video a few weeks ago about how craft products only last just so long, even if you're treating it right and doing everything that the manufacturer tells you to do. it only lasts so long. So, but everything you get is going to be fresh. I just got my stuff from Epoxy Sculpt. It just arrived. So, you're getting from that. I'm going to start packing the kits probably, beginning of next week, because we're waiting for boxes. We had to get a special box to put it in. And then I'll go out sometime next week or start to ship sometime next week, but I can make 5 more that I know of. And then I don't know that I can make any more after that. But I will have on the website, you can buy just Epoxy Sculpt if you want. I also have a 1/10 of a pound package that you can get in blue, red, and black.
It's like a little sample pack.
Yeah, and it's enough for you to, like you can make several of these big beads or something with it. Say, you just want to play with it a little bit, not sure you really want to get invested into this stuff, not sure you really want to do it, and not really sure what's the big deal over this, doing this in polymer clay anyway, because, let's face it, polymer clay is cheaper, but you can't do mosaic and inlay with it. It'll fall right out. You got to take and glue it in there. So, this is, in my opinion, for what I'm using it for, the better product. Not that it's a better product,
It's
per
less
se.
time
It does,
consuming,
too. Yeah, there's 2 things. Two things you can do. Polymer clay, you have to bake it, right?
Yeah, the whole step is taken out
Right.
with epoxy.
There's no baking with Epoxy Sculpt. You have a good hour to work with it.
And it already starts to
Depending
harden.
on the atmosphere in your home, humidity, blah, 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 dryness, you might get almost up to 3. Don't count on that. I've worked with it for almost 2 before, but it starts getting hard and hard to press things into it, So usually for me, an hour is about what I get. But anyway, we're going to show you how you can make this darling little bracelet. I've been meaning for the longest time to show you guys how I did this. I just was playing around. I don't know if this is something I invented or somebody else has done before or what. I mean, I certainly didn't get it from anybody. I was just goofing around one day. But we did a mixed media class, and I had some paper left. And so I made a tube bead out of cardstock and glued it and let it sit up. And then I covered it with what looks like Epoxy Sculpt. It might be polymer clay. I don't know. But I did that to make it have a little bit of more body to the bead, hold up good. And then I just took a stray piece of sari scrap and I put it on there for decoration. And then I got my bead. So it'd be cute to make beads like this all on their own. But then I'm thinking, okay, so what can I do with this one bead? Because I don't have any more of them. So I started messing around. I laid it on its side and I ran 2mm leather cord through it on each side. And then I crimped it. Now, this one has 2 crimps on it. This one only has 1. It's okay either way. The thing is, these crimps, I'll wait till Lauren cues in on it. These crimps came from Tierra Cast. And I don't know if you're familiar with Tierra Cast or not. It was an excellent company, but it's been sold to someone else, and I'm not quite sure who yet. Whoever has it is not ready to sell the product yet.
Sorry if they're shaking, guys. Just trying to get it close up for you.
Okay, yeah. We don't want to have it shaken because
Yeah.
some people don't like that. Okay, so you can't buy them right now until we find out who has the molds and is going to produce them, but evidently they intend to. So I loved their crimps. I didn't buy a lot of Tierra Cast beyond that because I had on my 1928 product. And really, part per part, they were both as expensive. So I preferred the vintage look of the 1928. But these crimps that Tierra Cast made were the bomb. I loved them. And so this is a crimp too. But this one has a little hole on the end so that you just go ahead and put your chain or your beads or whatever through it. And what's so cool about it, they are pewter, and pewter is soft. So when you get to the place where you want to close it down, you just take your flat nose pliers and you just go on it. And you better be sure that your cord's in the right place, because if you do that, you're going to have to cut it apart and you will lose your crimp. And you don't want to lose these crimps. So anyway, But you might say, well, Brenda, why are you showing us something that we can't even get? Well, here's the deal. In silver on my website, I have goobers of them yet. The brass ox ones, there aren't very many of them left. But I have goobers of these in silver. So if you want to try them or you find you like them, go ahead, raid me, get them all out. I've got what I want. And you'll have yours then. But as far as I'm concerned, this is like the best crimp ever. I love it. So you can make your bracelet that way. So what I do is I just get a bead. Okay, so I'm just going to try and fiddle around and make one. These beads, you know what, I'm going to do this one because this little one might be easier. Or maybe this one. Okay, this is one I made a long time ago. Okay, and you can see it looks like those Indonesian beads that you can buy. They're decorating. The only thing is you decorate it, which I like that idea. So it came out pretty good. It has nice holes in it, and I can pass through 2 pieces of 2mm cord because you have to be able to pass through 2 pieces of it, or it's not going to work. Okay, so this one's got a pretty big hole in it, and for a bead cord, what I did. Bead core, I should say. What I did, and we have these on Etsy, and I think I might on the site, it's this thing right here. This like washer thing with the beaded edge. It's zinc. It's a bead spacer, but it's heavy and it's big. I just take that and lay that into it, and I use it for a bead core. Or you can use a typical bead core too. I don't know, this might be both. But, you know, this is the kind of thing you play with. You find what you like, and then you do it. So, I'll show you with this one. So, I found that I need about, I'm going to use this black cord. We have lots of it. We have this 2mm leather cord in black, red, this olive color. I think there's one more, but we have a lot of it. So if you need cord, we have.
At one point we had yellow, but I don't know if we still have.
No, we don't have that right now. But maybe I should get it because it sold out, so it must have done well.
We had turquoise too at one point.
Yeah, yeah. We don't sell tons of leather cord.
Yeah.
Some things that I have on my website, I have it there for your convenience if you come to visit me. So you don't have to, okay, I got my cart at Brenda Sue's. Now I got to go over here and make another cart and pay shipping again and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, at our place, it's free shipping at $50, so. Why not get what you need insofar as I have it? I try to have like your basic things there. So anyway, you need cord to go through 2 times. I found that, I thought I brought my, I'm going to have to eyeball it because I thought I brought my ruler out and it's not here. So about, that looks like about 3.5 inches. Let's see. We'll pass that through. And now we'll bring it around. It's a little bit too long. We'll just cut it off. And then you put that into the crimp. And then you make the rest of the bracelet. And you're done. So it's pretty easy. The only thing that takes any time is if you make the bead. Now you don't have to make the bead. You can use any big hole bead you want. Another thing you can do is if you have old ugly pearls that have big holes in them. Or if you have the big wooden boho beads. You can cover them with epoxy sculpt and do your inlay. And that's kind of cool too.
Or you could even use something else if you don't want to do epoxy. You could do probably lace or
well, like this one I did sorry ribbon
or the lace trim. We have lace trim and
so many things you could do. You can make a lace bead. Remember that video? That's been a very popular video. You can make a lace bead to go there. I mean, just so many things.
I mean, we have those wooden spools too.
Yeah, in fact, well,
that you have, and you have one that
this
you
is
covered.
a spool that's covered. See, the ends aren't. I've not done anything with them yet. I'll probably paint them, but that's a spool. But I think it's a little bit too big for here. I don't like that, so I'll probably use that one for a pendant. Okay, so now I gotta cut 2 pieces exactly the same or just about, because if you get it off, then they're not going to fit the same and it'll look funny. Decorating the bead, mixing epoxy sculpt, if you want to use epoxy sculpt, is not hard. In fact, it's a blast. But this part is the only part where you really got to pay attention because it's easy to ruin your crimp. How do I know? I've done it lots of times. So anyway, so we got 2 of them here. See, they're about the same. This is a little bit longer, so I'll take that off. So what we do is take a bead, and we're going to pass one through, and it's going to be kind of like sideways on your hand. That's what it's going to look like, sideways. Oops. And so now I'm going to run it through, and now I want to bring it up so that I can crimp it. You see that? It's like a U. This is too long because the crimp's only going to go on the very end of that. So this would be too long, it won't look good. So you're going to take some off. So now, what would look good? Well, I'm pinching it. I'm thinking maybe this much. And then I'll have to take it and measure this one and make it the same. Okay. So, being as how I didn't have my ruler, I found though, 3.5 inches is what you need.
If you have maybe like a 3-inch or 4-inch like head pin or eye pin, you might be able to use that too if you don't have a ruler nearby.
Yeah, you could.
As like a guide, maybe.
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, now, so I'm going to pull this through. Oh, another thing with epoxy sculpt beads that's critical. You have to be sure that while you're decorating, you don't end up collapsing the whole inside and letting it cure, because then I don't know if you could drill it out or what, but it's pretty much wrecked. So you got to make sure when you're done that you have decent holes in the ends and they're going to stay. I just thought I mentioned that. Okay, so now this one's going to be a little hard because it's close. I don't have a lot to play with, but this will work. Now what you could do is you could take it and you could put the tiniest little piece of tape on the ends to hold them together while you're crimping them, because that helps, but I don't have it. So I'm going to put this thing on. Let's see how clumsy it gets. First of all, they have to fit in there, and this seems to be resisting me, so I don't know. Oh, here we go. You could also put glue in here and let it set and go back and then crimp it, which is not a half bad idea, I'm telling you. It's kind of hard holding it here doing this, as you can see, but it can be done. There ain't, you know, I think probably gluing it in and letting it set probably be your best bet. Of course, see, I do everything crazy, so that's why I'm having trouble now. But yeah, you got to get it on here. I just want to hope that I can get one side on here to show you, you know, how I crimp it up. That's the main thing. The rest of it is not rocket science. In fact, I don't really need to explain it because you guys know how. I need new glasses too. You guys probably heard about how I fell on cement a few weeks ago. I think that's when I decided to take my break. I didn't want to show myself with a mashed up face. Well, I messed my glasses all up too, so I have to get new glasses. Meantime, I have to put up with what I got. There we go. Okay, now go in there, be nice. Okay, it's in good. So now the trick is going to be getting it crimped down before it works itself loose again. So I'll just take this and try to go close to the edge, and I'll go up here too and get it mashed down as good as I can. And I'll go the other side and do the same thing. John just came in with a bun, and I think he thought he was going to make himself a sandwich. I said, don't come in here now. Okay. Let's see how tight that is. It's going to come across part or what? It's in there pretty even. Yeah, it's pretty good. It could stand to be tightened a little bit more. You could go up inside of it too. You can't, and you don't want to get it crimped down too much either, because if you do that, you can really mash the crimp, and it won't look nice. This has a little pattern on it. I think
it's a little floral
they
pattern.
called
It's
it
pretty.
Lotus or something.
Yeah.
And there was a line of things. All right, so you see how that went? All you had to do is pass this through
You can see
and
the
then
little
get your
pattern.
crimp on. And once you got both of your crimps on, all you gotta do is decide what you want to bead it up with. Like this one, I made a little rosary chain out of Saturn beads and some old brass ox bead caps, which I have not had for a while. I really like the look of this. I might have to get some more stuff to do that, but I made this quite a while ago. But all you do is when you do the other one, you got to be sure that you can pass the other one through as well. And this is where it might fight you a little bit, but there are things you can do about that. I'm going to pull it closer to me so I can see what I'm doing.
And like this one, her cord would have been a lot longer because she had that extra crimp bead there as like decoration.
Mm-hmm.
So the cord would have needed to have been
And
longer.
I can't enlarge this hole right now either, so I got to get this through. I know I got it through because I was checking it to see if I could use it, but anyway, it wants to fight me now. So
Of course, because we're
yeah,
live.
I'm not going to do it right now. You saw pretty much how it goes. The other side goes the same way. So then you'll have your bracelet. So you have to decide if you want to make beads or if you just want to use chain. I just did chain on mine. I'll show you mine. Yeah, you got to make sure you got room, and I did whenever I was checking that bead out. So, but I'm going to show you something else. As soon as I get this off, I'm going to show you an idea. Okay, here's the bracelet that I made that I'm wearing. I made these beads this morning, so they're not entirely cured. But they're very, designer crude, as I call it. But I had fun doing it. I used tiny little ball chain and little bead spacers. And ta-da, there we had it. And I used bead bead cores. Now, I used these pieces I told you about. But there are other bead cores that look like, oh man. They look like this. And it used to be really easy to find them, but I'm struggling now. But finally I did. They just look like big fat rivets. Probably they are just eyelets of some sort. So, maybe you have something like that already you could use. Or you wouldn't have to have a bead cord, but you have to ream that bead out and get it to stay. Some have said that they wrap the epoxy sculpt around a straw, which I tried that. And I must have not done something right because it didn't look so hot when I was done. But I know other people have done it very, very successfully. So you might want to try doing that as well. But anyway, another thing that you could do is this could be a pendant. Lauren, can you get that on camera?
Yeah, it is.
This could be a pendant. Yeah. And this could spin. Ooh. Kind of the idea of that bead we had from 1928, the spin. You can make your own spinners from like all manner of things.
And you can make it all blinged up too.
Yeah. And I think what I'm going to do for next week is I'm going to make more of these, and then I want to make a pendant based on this idea.
The spinner.
Yeah. And also, if you don't like these crimps or you don't want to get them, we have fold-over clasps or crimps there. Those work. There are a whole bunch of things that would work on our website. You just have to look under crimps, and that's under the basic findings, and there's a drop down, and crimps is one of them if you go in. Or you could just put crimps in the search box for the site, click it, and everything we have will show up. That's how I find most stuff on my own site. Just go in. I use that search box, man. I tell you what, it gets you where you want to go quick. If we've got it, it'll come up. So anyway, I don't know. I might just leave this one alone, make it into a necklace because I'm liking on it. I'm liking that.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, I'll put it here. No, I'll put these out.
It's not too big. It's not too small either.
No, I mean that could be a really cute little throw it on and go type thing. Let's see if I can set it up this way so you can see it just a little bit better. Hi, Karen. I'm not looking over here to see who's here too much because I want to concentrate on the project, but I will catch you later. So anyway, so
at the end we'll talk to everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna talk then, but it rolls. See.
And it's two-tone too, which makes it nice because then you can wear it with whatever. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I have
what
silver. I have silver, and I do that a lot. I like to mix metals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's going to be a necklace for me.
It looks like that's blue epoxy too, which will
It
go
is.
really well with denim.
It's the blue epoxy
with blue
sculpt.
jeans. You dress up some blue jeans.
And we have blue epoxy sculpt now. We don't have a lot, but I'm getting another shipment, so we'll have more. Anybody that watches these videos that has any inclination whatsoever to use a different clay than polymer clay, I can't recommend this enough. There are the other air dry clays that you can get, but they will not give you the definition that this will. They will not give you the sticking ability that this will. This is more like, I don't know, like you could say the air dry clays, like paper clay and stuff like that, different ones they make, DOS clay. That's like more of a craft product. More of a craft product. Epoxy sculpt is a professional product. Many professionals use it. So I would say for the money, it's hands down epoxy sculpt every time. And the more you play with it, the more you're going to find you can use it for. What I like to do with this stuff too is when it has not cured, because this is white, so it would have taken it really well, is just take it and dust on some
perfect
pearls. Oh man, it's so pretty. And you don't worry about, oh, all I got's white, what am I going to do with it? Perfect pearls, people, perfect pearls. Just dust it on at the end, you've got the most beautiful color. The more you put on it, the darker it is. You can also paint it. You can also use sealant over your paint, which is not a bad idea. If you just have it like this, though, you don't need to seal it. You're done. No need for any sealer unless you just feel somehow like you got to have sealer in there, then you do it, you know. I don't seal it. But if I wanted to put something on there and make it look like, ceramic type look to it, that would be a good way. You know, maybe I would dust it with a perfect pearls, let it set a little bit, and then put my sealant on it, maybe a satin sealant of some sort, and that would give a good look to it.
And if you have like chatons, you'll dust your color, and then after that sets, then you'll just go over with just like a Q-tip and a little tiny little drop of water and just wipe off the little surfaces of your chatons.
That's a very good tip. I'm glad you brought that up, Lauren. Talking about sealants too, I want to tell you a little something. You know, I carried the Swelligant line for years. And then, you know, it went through a little change. And somebody else has it now, but they're not carrying the whole line. And I just resist putting my name on it and private labeling this product that's in here, which is Sculpt Nouveau. Most people do not want to buy a big blobby bottle of Sculpt Nouveau. How do I know? I tried it. I bought some from the company to see who would get it. I would love to have it that way, but this size is so great. When Christy Friesen developed this, man, she hit the nail on the head. People who do crafts at home, that kind of thing, and want to seal a project, they don't want a whole lot.
And it lasts forever. You're only using a tiny bit.
You don't. And this stuff is the matte, so it's like water. You put it on, you don't even see where you put it, but it's sealed. This is wonderful stuff. Jordan got on the site the other day. I bought 15 bottles, and we'll see what happens after that. But
Yeah, this is my favorite.
they're able to still get this for me, so I'm really glad, because I don't want to go. I don't want to go bottling it and doing all that stuff. I'm very happy for it to be swelling it. So anyway, but if you're needing some of this, you haven't seen it on our site for a while. We have not had it. We have it now. Go get some.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And this and Krylon
Yeah, those are
are
mine
my
too.
favorite sealants. This and Krylon. Krylon spray clear lacquer is awesome, but you got to do it in light misting coats. I had it up in the air.
Yeah.
You have to do it in light misting coats, and some things it is not real great for, like
Well, you have to go outside.
you have to
too.
go outside too.
But this you don't.
It's not real good over alcohol, like stuff like that. It can make it run. Now,
Yeah.
if you develop your technique, you can get along with it, but it's iffy. There's a product called PIM, P-Y-M, that is a spray sealant that's made for that kind of thing. I don't carry it because I don't carry any aerosols, and that's the only way it comes is in an aerosol. But this comes in liquid in a little bottle, and it doesn't cost very much either. I think they're running, don't quote me, go look, $11.95 a piece, which yeah, I know, it's more than it used to, but so is everything. And you can still get it, and it still lasts a long time. I used to have it years ago for $7.95, but that was like 12 years ago? How much stuff do you know that 12 years ago is the same price now? This is just how it is. But this product's worth it. It's worth it, just like Epoxy Sculpt is worth it. So anyway, so I hope that gives you a little idea of something. These would make kind of cool earrings too, Lauren.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hope it gives you some really good ideas. And you may have a crimp in your stash that will work for this just as well. Or maybe you don't want to use cord with it. Maybe you could use ball chain with it. Did I bring that stuff out here? You use ball chain. I have this big roll of ball chain that I bought one time because I thought I was going to use it. So yeah, so say I want to make a necklace out of this, and I don't want to do the double pass through. There you go. That's pretty. But I would probably want to catch it here somehow. Maybe I would take a little piece of Epoxy Sculpt and put there and decorate it, and then go from there, so that it will stay together. I figured that out when we were working with 1928. They had some product that I dearly love, but it swung sideways all the time because it did not have a connector at this juncture right here to hold it. So when you have a heavier pendant or something that has like holes on the side, like little ears or something like that, you've got to have something to stabilize it, or it just goes all askew. Even if it's real long, it goes all wonky. So there's your tip for the day too. If you make something like that, you're going to have to do a little bit of something to catch it. And that again is where Epoxy Sculpt comes in good. Epoxy Sculpt fills just about every need that you have. Where you don't have a part for something, a lot of times you can make one out of Epoxy Sculpt. So it's a handy thing to have. So I hope you will try it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that today. I'm surprised how fast he's set up. Wow. Anyways, we're gonna go back to the beginning on the feed here and see who all's here and say hi. And we'll go back to the beginning and see. Here's Deborah's here, Annalisa's here, Dara, Andrea, Chris Wheeler, is it Wheeler? Sherry Lynn's here, Jan Tag is here, Debbie Nicolaus is here. All the ones I expected would be here. Tiger Cat, I think she came to the last one. She was new. Lisa Marie's here. Beansy, a.k.a. Beansy. Jennifer Williams is here. That's great. And No, I'm not singing for you, Lisa. I'm not ready for publication. When I get it back to where I want it to be, I'll sing for you. That I will. But not now. Okay, this is Carmen Patriot. That's Colleen Hine. Yeah, that might be just as good. Christine Lewis is here. Karen Vasconcelos, is that how you say it? Ilyanka's here. Hey, how are ya? So that's pretty much the ones that came and spoke up. So we thank you for coming because we haven't been here for a while. And I worry that, when you don't show up for a while, they tend to kind of forget you. But, I did notice this. Our subscribership did go up. Even though we weren't on, it didn't go up by like leaps and bounds, but it did go up. So, when you've got over 550 videos out there, there's something for people to watch. Mm-hmm. And I try to reference them a lot of times, like on the creative group, or maybe out in my feed on Facebook, maybe on Instagram. In my newsletter, I referenced 3 of them last night in my newsletter. So, there are a lot of them to see, a lot of things to check out. And if you didn't watch the last one, which is about craft products and, what to expect from them. Shelf life, how they work, blah, 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 all the way down the line. Be sure that you see that video. You need to watch that video. If not that one, if there's another one by somebody else out there that's like that, I don't think so, but maybe go watch theirs. Or watch theirs and watch mine. Then you just know twice as much. So you need to know about the products you use. And I only carry good stuff. Stuff I know is good, like Swelligant. I've been using Swelligant for the longest time. As the way I understand it, I was the first person on YouTube to have a video about it. And I was just learning about it then. And I carried it for a long time, deep. And then, if you're not using so much a product, it'll tend to fall off. But there are certain things from that line I can't live without. And one of them is this. And the darkening patina, which the other supplier is not carrying, so I'm not sure what I'll do about that. And then the Tiffany green patina, I love that. I don't care that much about metal coatings because I'm usually working on metal. That's why I wanted Swelligant, because I wanted that for metal. But say you want to make a hunk of epoxy sculpt look like metal, you can. You need the metal coatings from Swelligant. You put that down first, let it cure, then go over it. I think actually you can use a wet over it. Go over it with a patina and let it just do its thing. Walk away and let it do its thing. Sometimes you put some sponges around it to make it bloom. And you come back in half an hour, you're not going to believe it. It's going to be awesome. So, and if you want to know more about it, I have lots of videos on this channel, or if you watch Christy Friesen, she has a lot of them too. I'm sure there are other people that have videos about it, but I was so tickled to get this product when Christy first put it up. And I was thinking about doing it myself, but I just couldn't stand the idea of filling all those little bottles with a great big jug. So she did it, yay. And now somebody else is doing it. But let's see who else has got something to say. Deborah Baldock says, I'm glad you've healed well. Understand the glasses, but waiting for my own appointment. I know they'll be pricey. Oh, yeah. I got to go. In fact, I should call my guy today. I got to get an eye appointment anyway because, being diabetic, you have to have them checked every year. And I know my vision is way worse than it was. And it's been more than a year. So I have to go, and I always like to have these glasses remade. These glasses are old as frames. They're old as the hills. But I keep having them made again. So I said to John, my husband, I said, this time I think I'm going to be smart. I'm getting 2 pair of glasses made. I'm either going to look through my old frames that I saved, see if there's something there, or go to another company that...
They can't make you 2 matching pairs?
Of this? No. You got to have the
the arms. Yeah. They can't remake the arms.
I don't think my eye doctor will have a great selection. He never really did, but he's an awesome eye doctor. There's a company named Zenni, Zenni, that you could look up. Where I found out about it is that guy, the Professor of Rock. I watch him once in a while, and he's an influencer for them. So I thought, well, I'll look at it because I need a pair. Last time I got a pair like that, where you send away for some, and you try them, see how you pick ones, get that. I can't remember. Warby Parker, maybe, was where they were $100. And I'm like, these are plastic. What's the big deal, Well, Zenni, you can get pretty neat glasses for like $10, $15. And they'll even make them up. If they're single vision, they'll make them up for you if you have a prescription. But I wear triple bifocal, so they got to go to a specialized guy. But I can get the frames. So I think I'm going to go there and get my frames. See what happens. Okay, does anybody have anything else? This is new comments, so let's scroll on down there.
Up here,
Oh,
wait,
there's
let
a
me.
good bit yet.
Yeah, hold on, let me unclick that. So, okay, so where are you at?
Hit the like button. Oh, I forgot to say anything about that. Thank you so much, Annalise, for saying that. Yes, please, as always, give me a like, please. Subscribe to our channel if you've not done that. Everybody here already has.
Yeah, if you hit the little bell too, it'll notify you
it'll
anytime
notify
we're live.
if you don't mind notifications on your
Devices.
phone or whatever. You get that. And then, please, 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 go under the video where there's commentary and description underneath, and you'll see comments are in there. Please, 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 if you can take time to leave me a comment there, it will help boost us at YouTube. And I've begun to think that maybe the only way that's going to happen is if I pay for Google advertising, because YouTube is Google. But we can't do that right now. Wish I could, but can't. So you guys can help. Nobody can do that for me or anybody else, anybody you follow. Nobody can do that for them but you. That is the greatest gift that you can give someone that you follow. And you help them to continue making more videos. Because the more people that see my videos, the more they learn, the more our community grows. And perhaps when they need something, they'll come and check out bisouboutiques.com. Because if you have not checked out bisouboutiques.com, you're going to be surprised. That is a huge website, very professional, very colorful. We had some issues with it for a while. I could have screamed, but they fixed them. And it runs really good now. So there's a lot of stuff in there. We haven't had a ton of new stuff for a while, but we are going to. So you're going to want to check over there. And if you don't see something you'd like to have, just tell me. Come messenger me at Facebook or tell Jordan at bisouboutiques.com. Because we're here to serve. We always have been. That's the reason I'm here. So anyway, let's see what else everybody
Ayaka
said.
said she missed us.
I miss you too.
Gloria said hi. Oh, Chris told you how she's...
Whaler. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope I can remember that.
And then
Whaler.
Ayanka wants to know if the Spilligate is anti-tarnish for metal.
Yes. That's what sealants are all about. When you seal things, you're keeping the air and oxidants and all that do naturally things to metal and finishes. You're keeping them out. They're sealed out. So yes, and it's an excellent sealer. It's big companies use that sealer. It's the best you can get, in my opinion. So let's see.
Annalise says there's a video where you're singing.
I don't remember that. Yeah, well, I hope you can hear me.
She said that it was you could hear good today. That was a good sound. Yeah.
Transfer us. Hey, Betty, how you doing, Betty? How's it going? She's also named Brenda. Good. I like that name, Brenda. I didn't when I was a kid. Nobody had that name. Not in the 50s and 60s. Nobody had that name. Except me. Brenda Sue.
See, you were born to be unique.
Everybody else had these beautiful Italian names because I went to school in Italian and Greek neighborhoods. So everybody had these beautiful names. And I was Brenda. But now that I'm older, I'm like, it's okay. And I like my married name with it. I think that's pretty. So I'm happy with it now. Funny how time changes you. Thank you, Andrea, for coming. Really appreciate it.
I think we got them all.
I missed you guys. Yeah, if I get my voice back good enough, I'll have Jordan play the guitar, and I'll sing for you someday.
We'll have the coffee shop again.
Yeah, yeah. Because I may be ready to do that.
Okay.
And I may not. It's kind of weird at 68 to be getting your voice back. Pretty much done if you're a woman by then, but I don't know what happened. Maybe it was when I hit my head.
It opened things.
Because it was right about that time, and I was just going twiddling through the house doing stuff and just humming a little bit or whatever. And I did something I don't normally had, and I stopped, and I said, "What?" And I made myself do it again. And I'm like, "Oh my word!" So I made myself do it again.
It opened your sinuses, did it?
No, it's like I've not been able to do that for since Dory was a baby. So I'm like, huh. So what they teach you when you learn, vocal studies, they teach you to remember how things feel. How did that feel?
Oh. Okay.
As for your placement, how did it feel? So I'm thinking, okay, what did I do? How did it feel? And I said, well, it kind of felt like my head was cut off. Which, for vocal, that's a good thing. So I ran to my new keyboard, and I started running scales. I couldn't believe what I was able to do. I said, this is probably for one day only. It's going to go away. I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. It doesn't matter. But it's just a thing with me. I took a lot of training when I was young. It all went away, and I couldn't do it. I used to say I'd rather be blind than not be able to sing. Now, how dumb was that? Because I can make jewelry.
You can see colors.
Whatever. See, I could never find a license plate for my bike, born in the early 60s, huh? Well, I didn't have a license plate for my bike, but I did have a bike. It was purple. It's a purple bike, and it had a basket on it.
I think she's saying because of her name, she was never ever. You
Brenda
know
Rose.
how they have those things with names on them,
Uh-huh.
like personal. She can never find her name.
Yeah, you're right. It was very hard, very, very hard to find anything
With
that said Brenda, let alone Brenda Sue.
Sometimes it was hard to find my name.
You could get Sue, yeah, Lauren. Well, now it wouldn't.
Now it's not.
But
yeah.
you could get Sue or Susan, which I'm not a Susan. I'm Sue. You get Sue. I'm not, but I was never called Sue, and I didn't want to be called Sue. I didn't mind being called Brenda Sue, but I don't want to be called Sue. So, anyways, that's a little bit of me. You light up. I light up. Oh, I light up your life. I hate that song. But I hear that song, I want to cringe.
guys.
I want to cringe.
You had me laughing, and I bumped the chair back.
Yeah. Anyways,
I was supposed to be Jessica.
you were supposed to, what happened?
Well, my aunt came to Mom and said that people were going to call me Jess, and so I'd be Jess Hess, and Mom went, nope.
Oh!
Because my maiden name was Hess, H-E-S-S.
Yeah.
So she's like, they're going to call her Jess Hess. And I'm like, and so
Yeah,
that
I
went right out the window.
Didn't think of that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I never thought about boys' names. I was so sure I was having a girl.
So much for that.
He showed up.
He was supposed to be Sharna, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is a really pretty name.
Yeah, it's a Welsh name.
There's a professional dancer on Dancing with the Stars, and her name is Sharna.
Yeah, it's a Welsh name.
Yeah.
So, I thought it might be kind of cool to give a child a Welsh name because her last name is Welsh. Her last name Lansdowne is Welsh, and it has the correct spelling. And I don't know anything about speaking Welsh or anything, which is a shame, but I don't. Anyway, cyber trainer Judy B. Been a while since I've caught alive. I like that chain on your necklace. Do you sell it? This?
That's that heart one.
I have had it. I don't have any in stock right now, but I have had it. Maybe I should get some more, huh? This stainless steel.
We had it in two-tone too at one point.
Did we?
I think.
Well, this is pretty sure it's stainless steel. They sell a lot of silver that's stainless steel now, which is pretty cool because it's not going to tarnish, but stainless steel is a booger to cut. So I don't like it for that reason. So anyway, well, I think we're finishing up. I've been with you for about an hour. That's enough of me. I blathered on, but I told you a lot of stuff. I told you a lot about epoxy sculpt and why it's so great. And oh, there's one more thing. One more little tip I want. And I know I've showed you before, but I gotta improve this because I have not for a while been using what's in it. But I have a little box of little itty bits that are just perfect for doing resin inlay. So I keep them handy at all times. And then so every so often you want to add something or, replenish it or whatever. But if you don't have a box like this full of itty bits, I can't encourage you enough to make yourself one. So I don't sell the boxes, but they're not hard to find. So anyway, so that's what I have to say about that. You guys have been great. Thanks for coming. We're going to have a really good, fun time with the epoxy sculpt thing. And once more, if you want a kit, you have 5 left. Jordan at BeadingBoutiques.com or 1-800-868-4393 during business hours. And we'll hook you up with one. But you don't have to have a kit. You can go a la carte at our site and just get what you want or not. But maybe at some point you will come back and buy from us. And I would appreciate that. Because the videos are kind of hard to make. That's why I needed a break. I was just fried. So it's good if you help us a little bit with that. Just every so often, not every week, just come get a little something. Because believe me, there are thousands of things there. If you come to our site and you can't find anything you like, I don't know what to tell you. What to tell you. So right now we have 25% off site-wide. The code is 25ALL, 25ALL, all caps, no spaces. And that's good all week. And oh, I forgot. And I'm giving away a Muse box again this week. It has a value of about $100. Last week Deborah Stewart got it. You could win it too. All we do is just anybody who buys something, that's an entry. We don't care if it's $2. Whatever, it's an entry. And you could win it. I'm having fun making them too because I'm cleaning out some stuff. There's a lot of things that are just not enough to make a lot and put it on Etsy, But it would be nice to put a little bag, stick it in one of those, and someone would enjoy having it. So the one I'm sending to Deborah is pretty sweet. And the one I'm going to make for this week's pretty sweet too. So if you want in on it, I've told you what to do. Now, zip the lip. Okay. You guys are the greatest. Come on over to the creative group on Facebook. Be a part of that. Today's Work Table Wednesday, so get them tables up. I didn't see too many this morning. So
we need 20.
Yeah, we need 20.
And someone can win a $25 gift card, gift certificate.
Yeah. So that's not chump change. So anyway. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll be back next week with some more little tricks with epoxy sculpt.
And if you need to get a hold of Jordan for one of those kits, he should be here till about 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So
today he will.
Yep.
Okay. We'll see.